Oh, Tashidele, hello everyone. I hope everyone is keeping well. And welcome back to the Lojong teaching. After quite some time of gap while I was traveling to India. So, okay, so now we are back. Yeah, so before we start the teaching, it is very important for all of us to set correct motivation. The best have altruistic motivation. So that way, the activities of giving, teaching, and listening the Dharma, including of all the preparatory practices, even of your time, then many of you may be busy and may need to sacrifice your other responsibilities, just to be on live to receive this transmission of teaching. And not only that, all the aspirations to practice Dharma, aspirations to offer service to the well-being of numberless sentient beings, aspiration to offer service for the preservation of Dharma, both in study as well as in practice. All of those preparatory practices become most meaningful, most beneficial for your own temporary and ultimate benefit, as well as rest of the numberless sentient beings' temporary and ultimate benefit. By the right motivation of altruism. Even the act of putting aside mundane activities, because of the motivation of altruism, able to turn that into a practice of renunciation, renouncing, the samsaric deeds. So that way, whatever effort that you put in the practice of Dharma, even just simply hearing the word of Dharma, then no question about understanding them. Then no question about taking them into practice, taking as a guide to our day-to-day life. All going to be a path to liberation, path to enlightenment. So these are the just few reasons, why setting correct motivation is extremely important. So so first of all, feel the presence of all the past, present, future Buddhas. Vividly visualize and feel the presence of Guru Shakyamuni Buddha as a main celestial object of our veneration, surrounded by rest of the past, present, future Buddhas. Then, as well as all the past, present, and past lineage gurus, including of the earlier Kadamba masters, all the way to Lama Atisha, then to all the lineage gurus of the profound Dharma, all the way up to Manjushri, and then extensive Dharma, all the way up to Buddha Maitreya. So simply, all of them are blessing you, guiding you, so that as mentioned, as the motivation, whatever you do become absolute benefit to the enlightenment of yourself and all sentient beings. Okay. So in front of these celestial beings, then you make a you aspire with altruistic intention, simply by expressing from depth of your heart, wholeheartedly, sincerely, for the benefit of numberless sentient beings, full enlightenment. May I achieve a state of full enlightenment. For that purpose, I must guide all the sentient beings into the path. For that purpose, I must enter into the path. In order to do that, I must, actualize the path. In order to do that, must know the path. And for that purpose, then I'm going to listen to the mind training Lojong, pit instructions of the past great Kadamba masters. So that should be your motivation. Then take a moment to express deep compassion and love to all the sentient beings, in particularly those of being who are in tremendous suffering in the three lower realms. Then, as well as those of beings in human and God realms, and those who are in the intermediate state, such as those of the gods that who are experiencing suffering of nearing death. Then all the humans, as we know, there's so much sufferings that is happening right now with so much conflicts, such as war, and then abuse, then there's so much natural disasters. I think many of you have listened to the news, the unbelievable distractions from the flood that experienced in Pakistan. So many millions of people are suffering, suffering of no losing home, losing loved ones, suffering of no food, no water to drink. So much unbelievable sufferings that's happening. Then there's so many animals, more than the humans. There's so many animals like cows, sheep, pigs, reptiles, etc. There's so many of them suffer. Can you imagine just one example of the suffering that a child, immature child, separating from the mother, that happens to so many people and so many animals during the distractions of such a natural disaster like flood, etc. Then the fear from the war, famine. Then not only that, so many beings, so many people are suffering from depression, from confusion, from delusions, so much suffering that caused by the past actions of negative karmas, present conditions of delusions such as anger, attachment, grasping, ego, jealousy, pride, etc. Even around us, where there's no distractions of natural disasters, war, very much all the livelihoods are intact, but then we witness, people suffer so much with of depression, of not knowing how to think properly, rightly, so much suffering of unnecessary, worry for future, so much suffering of caught up with past memories, even though there's no benefit holding on to it, but then there's so many people, even though they are well off with their wealth, friends, health, physical health, but then mentally, there's so much suffering. Unbelievable, isn't it? And and then there's so much suffering of conflict between parent and children, conflict between brothers, sisters, conflict between husband and wife, conflict between neighbors. You see, very much the suffering created through confusion, delusions. You see, then even think about our own self, like you and me. Even we have dharma in our life. We are surrounded by so many dharma books in the room. So many teachings are happening in person, online these days. You see, and almost all the holinesses are teaching, very often. All our gurus are actively, online offering teachings, isn't it? But then, but then, now and then, emotionally, we feel difficult, isn't it? Isn't it? Yes, not everyone, but many of us, isn't it? Isn't it? Uh, uh, because of don't know how to think rightly, don't know how to think according with the Dharma. Because of that, we sometimes get depressed. Sometimes, have fear of uncertainty of tomorrow. Then we do caught up with, past some events, that bothering you, etc. Then, you know, if there's a certain external inconvenience comes in our way, such could be health issue, physical health issues, or environmental issues, whatever comes in our way. Very often we fail to apprehend them and according with the Dharma understanding, isn't it? We most of the time we fail to utilize the Dharma wisdom, even though, as I mentioned before, we are receiving abundance of Dharma. We've been learning for ages, in the Dharma teaching. But then, in such moments and times, we sometimes we very much get failed to apply the Dharma, isn't it? Fail to look at the situation from the Dharma perspective, isn't it? So that way, you know, we come to a position, we and Dharma become separated. We and Dharma, stay not connected, even though just receive Dharma teaching, and more than that, receive Dharma teaching from, so many teachers, read Dharma books. When a good time, Dharma looks wonderful, but during the difficult time, all the Dharma wisdom just stay disconnected with you. That happens, isn't it? That happens, isn't it? Oh, then yeah. So that so we then we suffer with the darkness, in the darkness of ignorance. We suffer with you know the complete stir up emotion by the delusions, etc. Isn't it? So I'm just giving some examples. So here, the main point of reminding all these examples is for us to sincerely able to express great compassion, you know, uh, to all beings and including yourself. So that's the main point here. Okay, so so either start from yourself as object of compassion and love, or start with someone else as object of compassion and love. Um, the main point is to able to pervade the heart of love and compassion to all sentient beings. Okay, so meditate on that for just a moment. Okay, thank you. So I will recite refuge and bodhicitta prayers. Uh, First, make salutation to Guru Shakyamuni Buddha, then refuge and bodhicitta prayer, then mandala offering. So we will do that. Lama Dumba Jumden de Dijin Jabada Jumba Yanda Bazo Bezanjeri Bada Shasu Demba Deva Jimba Jiden Jima Jivu de Vekalo Juba Lana Mebala Minam Jidumba Sanji Jumden Pejawa Jaja Dubana Janda Loja de Jazun Jiva Jinja Lado Lama Dumba Jumden de Dijin Jabada Jumba Yanda Bazo Bezanjeri Bada Shasu Demba Deva Jiden Jimba Jivu de Vekalo Juba Lana Mebala Minam Jidumba Sanji Jumden de Pejawa Jaja Dubana Chazalo Chuden Jazun Jiva Jinja Lado Lama Demba Jumden de Dijin Jabada Jumba Yanda Bazo Bezanjeri Bada Shasu Demba Deva Jimba Jiden Jimba Jivu de Vekalo Juba Lana Mebala Minam Jidumba Sanji Jumden de Pejawa Jaja Dubana Chazalo 学对家宗旨，我刚才看见做节当在，啥节的那个把都不能，我那几天的那解决，那在家把家拉家子罗南大公安就都做那哇，一些家做这些罗莫达，他把几天做那那你哇，公婆今年做那家子罗深州的把这面那来，那到那哇就拉家子罗的那就那在嘛做嘛些，你们就在家拉家子罗公婆都这些的吧，他们这见面的吧。Zona yende jazo je de je jana jan zano dame do jan rawan jo je me zone do je je do de na jo ba shi jo jana chan dona de la yan de la ma da la ram do ne chin je da ba yende de la yan jan zano ne ba je a me ja je je ba bu zo zo ba jo ran je zen ne yo zo do de ne zan je da ba je ga ma ra re ma me da ju ma ze ba chu bo da na no da de da Duje Jonan Dedrada, Zonam de Damje Zebaye, Goban, then again, Godana, Chive, Lord. Sebe Zole, Dova, Dova, Jo. Kangi Dojane Zone, Dava, Jabambeje, the Bejan, Denzeba, Godam de la Chase, Lo, Doni, Jesundo, Jubelan, Sejo Kanje, Chana Bemo, Jazo. So what devzo da ju jin ye lo san ye jo dan so ye shon la chan ju ba do dan ne ja so je da je je so je be so nam je lo ma be je san je ru ba san ye jo dan so ye shon la chan ju ba do dan ne ja so je da je je so je be so nam je lo la be je san je ru ba jo san ye jo dan so ye shon la chan ju ba do dan ne ja so da je je so je be so nam je lo la be je san je do ba ra jo sim je dam je de wa na de we jo dan dem ra jo je sim je dam je do nga da do nga je jo dan da wa jo je sim je dam je do nga me ben da wa na mi da wa sim je dam je ni re ja da ni dan da we ta nyo la ne ba ra jo ro je sa je be je jo je men do dam re ra le je ni de je ma de sa je je do mi de be wa Dogen nam da xin la je ma ra shu da je lu ma ye zo no je de zo ja zo je ren je me da za mo go na zo jo ba la ya la ne la ma ye da go jo zo la be de je ma je xin ye da la je je la do zo da je cha da mo zo je be yo da je ba zo do da lo jo Pamba meba buje lecho ne dozo ranza dowa chinye lo ye dama guru rana me dala gamne ya daya me. Okay, so we are continuing from the mind training treatise, the classical text, the great collection of the mind training. Um, from where we left last session. So today is chapter 23, and the title is Mind Training: Removing Obstacles. Very much the teaching of Shunu Gyalchok. If you are using the same volumes of text, then you are on the page 239. So the title is Mind Training: Removing Obstacles. Oh, so when we think about obstacle, there are inner, outer, secret obstacles. You know, human, non-human, human, non-human obstacles. Then like 80,000, different kind of the the uh, the obstacles, we encounter when we have the conditional circumstances. So there are many type of obstacles. Yeah? And then 360 over kind of the obstacle caused by different kinds and level of spirits. So like that. So in any way, so the main obstacle is the main the root of all the obstacles, and the power of all the obstacles, the reason of all the obstacles, the basis of all the obstacles, that comes in the two elements, and that is the self-grasping attitude and self-cherishing attitude. So as long as these two root of the obstacle is cleared, then rest of the mentioned earlier obstacles will be all cleared. As long as this root is not cleared, and how many forms of antidotes that you apply to eradicate the obstacles, it becomes very much superficial, very much clearing the very surface level. You won't able to eradicate completely, until that you're able to eradicate the root cause, the root obstacle, the self-grasping and self-cherishing attitude. So there are general in Buddhist practice, there are general ways to remove the obstacles, which we are quite familiar in our life. Whenever obstacle comes in our way, we try to engage some antidotes to overcome them, like such as doing specific pujas, or specific astrological antidotes, etc., by engaging experts, of pujas, like the sanghas, astrologers, etc., like that. But the another uncommon, or the another the way which the technique is very much the key practice of the mind training practitioners, Lojong practitioners, which is which is by taking obstacle onto the path to develop our heart, to develop our altruism, and to actualize the benefit of Buddhahood for self and others. In another word, taking obstacle onto the path. Instead of finding certain antidote to eradicate them the way how we usually do by performing pujas, etc. But here, embarrassing embracing the obstacle, and utilizing the obstacle as a tool to develop our wisdom and develop our attitude of loving kindness, compassion. So this is the Lojong way, like that. So I will read through the text. So this particular text, very short instruction, but it is very, very powerful, very effective, especially in this time in the world. There's so much obstacles. Almost everyone experience it one or another way. Environmental obstacles, delusional obstacles, health obstacles, emotional obstacles. There's all sort of obstacles. As I already given some example at the beginning. Even those of us who have so much dharma, but then we carried away by obstacles. We are completely overpowered by different kind of obstacle in our life, and we lose our coolness and calmness. You see, so therefore, the method of clearing obstacle is so essential for us to know. Then, among the two kind of method, as I mentioned before, the most effective the method is the second one. That is very much the individual themselves, who are experiencing obstacle, by actualizing the antidote within them and overcome the obstacle by eradicating the root cause of the obstacle. And that is the right way, and an ultimate way, because all the obstacles are the result of one's own action, one's own past karma, and the delusion is not created by kind of external force. And those obstacles that comes in our way, didn't manifest without any condition that provided from outside. And all those obstacles are not by other powers. It is very much powered by our own self, our own confusion, our own delusion. And then on the basis of that, creation of action, which are called the negativities, negative karma. So due to the delusion and negative karma, that obstacles comes in our way. And if we have the antidote within our own understanding, to overthrow the regime of self-cherishing and self-grasping attitude, you yourself become the power of your own mind and your own life and your own system. You see, so you yourself, within yourself, you have to conquer your own your own world, that world that which you aspire to live, the happy world, the happy life, a peaceful life, peaceful world. You see, so so therefore, without doing anything from outside, just simply asking someone to perform puja, not necessarily can be as effective as oneself working on to the antidote to eradicate the problem. You see, so the general way of, our way of doing, eradicating our obstacle by performing pujas, by looking the astrological kind of calculations, those are secondary. Those are conditional causes. Those cannot be direct antidote to our direct antidote to our problem. You see, so so therefore, we our own life is the proof for ourselves. Our own life, our own experiences in the life is a proof to ourselves. We very much depend external help to overcome our challenges in our life. And up to today, how many expert puja makers to perform puja to us, how many expert astrologers that we engage to fix our problem, bring success in our life and overcome our obstacles in our life, to do with health, to do with the wealth, to do with the relationship. Ourselves is the evident. The problem didn't solve, isn't it? Problem didn't solve. Problem still persist. Yes, emotionally, whenever when we are in trouble, when pujas are performed, we feel supported, we feel better, more to the emotion side, isn't it? Of course, by yourself organizing pujas, prayers, by using your wealth, and investing your intention to create merit, so that the merit can able to condition to clear obstacle. Definitely that way, there's a great help, great assistant, to really to subside the obstacles and gather more meritorious resources to the improvement of the life. But when it comes to eradicating the root cause of the problem, that alone is not good enough. You see, in order to eradicate the root cause, then within ourselves, the puja of developing the wisdom and developing the method, then overthrowing, our emotion, overthrowing the self-grasping, self-cherishing, emotion in our heart. By that way, then we not only able to overcome the minor obstacles, but we're able to overcome the entirety of the problems in our life. That way we can able to achieve absolute liberation from all the problems and sufferings. You see, so like that. So I will read through the text. So it's a homage to the greatly compassionate spiritual teachers. So here, the composer of the text, paying homage. One of the reason is to clear obstacle, to the success of the composition of the text. In another way is to also to accumulate merit, and also showing respect to the Dharma lineage blessings that the composer are going to illustrate, through this teaching. So, so paying homage to the greatly compassionate spiritual teachers. So it's very much, like Shunna Gyalchok himself, and paying homage to his immediate teachers, who all of them are the Kadamba masters. Their practice is compassion and altruism. In the actual reality, all of them are Bodhisattvas and Buddhas. And then all the way up to the great Kadamba masters like Lama Tsongkhapa, I would say great Kadamba masters like the Lama Atisha, etc. Then all the way up to the profound, extensive Dharma lineages. You see, so all paying homage to all the compassionate teachers. The instruction on dispelling the obstacle of Mahayana mind training it has been taught to the Mahayana mind training, the special technique to dispel the obstacle in accordance with the Mahayanic teaching, in particularly the mind training teaching, taught into the 4 points. So these 4 points are the ways to overcome the obstacles. The first point is to accept ill omens as charms. So usually in our normal way of thinking is obstacles are to be discarded. Obstacles are regarded nasty. Obstacles are regarded unhelpful. The obstacles are unappealing. But for the mind training practitioners, the first point to be cultivated in our heart is all the obstacles are appealing to us. So appealing to what? Appealing to develop our heart of love, compassion, appealing to feel the pain of others, feel the sufferings of others, appealing all the obstacles are appealing to us in the sense of to understand the real intensity of the karma and delusion and the self-grasping, self-cherishing attitude. It is appealing because the sufferings and problems in life, bring humility in ourselves. That will help to overcome our arrogance, the egocentric arrogance, which is very harmful to yourself and to others. So when the obstacles comes in our way, it helps to destroy them. So in that kind of understanding, when obstacles comes in our way, then we stay grounded. You see, when obstacles comes in our way, we also start to remember the wisdom of impermanence. Wisdom of impermanent. You see, then also will understand the wisdom of understanding the death, etc. So by remembering death and impermanent, then that helps to remember virtue, remember Dharma. The virtue and Dharma, that is the only thing will be most beneficial for now, for at the time of dying, at the time of individual state, and in all the future times. You see, so therefore, when obstacles comes in our way, all these beneficial wisdoms and attitudes, will develop. You see, so therefore, the first thing is to accept all ill omens as a charms. Then second is to exterminate Mara at its very source. Instead of the normal way is exterminate if the obstacle is found to be spirit harm, then try to chase the spirit away. If the obstacle is like physical kind of sicknesses, such as cancer, headache, wounds, etc., then we try to overcome that by taking medicines, we never really think about the the ultimate, the root cause, which is the karma and delusion. Uh, we very much, even we look for the cause, we will look for like superficial cause, maybe wrong foods, try to avoid those wrong foods, wrong environment, etc. But we will never really go deeper level to understand the ultimate root cause, which is self-grasping, self-cherishing attitude. So now, in the Lojong way, the mind training way, the Kadamba master's way of eliminating obstacle is, directly uh, um, mm, uh, focus eradicating it is very source of those problem, which is the self-grasping and self-cherishing attitude. It is very cause, you see. So the Kadamba master, Lojong practitioner, they won't waste time doing all the minor deeds to overcome the obstacle. They will directly focus to overcome the root cause. So by overcoming the root cause, they are able to overcome all the other impacts and effects. You see, so this is the way. Now the third one is to bring obstacle onto the path. So third one is the bringing obstacle onto the path. Uh, uh, make the obstacle useful, uh, as mentioned before, to develop compassion. There are varieties of obstacles out there. You see, let's say the obstacle is anger, then uh, take that anger onto the path. How? By uh, uh, by taking opportunity to develop patience. You see, if the attachment is obstacle, how to take attachment onto the path? By actualizing, by the attachment as a reasoning to develop detachment. You see, then of course this is very minimal. This is very basic. So there's a way, many other ways in the sutric path, how to take delusions onto the path. Then in the tantric path, there's another ways, much more uh, extended, more subtle ways to take delusions onto the path, like that. You see, so when any form of suffering, like such as like cancer or whatever comes in our way, then take the opportunity to do tonglen practice, practice of taking and giving. Uh, take the opportunity to develop great compassion, because there are many others who are suffering from cancer. Now feel for them. Then uh, you know uh, then on the basis of that, then do sincere practice of tonglen practice, etc. Then when the suffering obstacle comes in our way, then take the opportunity to you know uh, to purify them by engaging in purification practices like Vajrasattva practices, etc. So this is just a few examples. When different obstacle comes in our way, there's a general approach to take onto the path and a specific approach to take on the path. You see, so like that. Uh, the if you want to recap in just a few words, then you know any form of obstacle, try to take onto the take onto the path in two ways, either the wisdom path or the method aspect of the path. You see, so whenever obstacle comes in our way, the wisdom way is to uh, try to try to utilize the understanding of emptiness, you know, try to investigate those obstacles, and try to understand, or try to have the perspective of wisdom of emptiness towards the obstacle. So that way, it really tease on the basis of that particular intense situation to make us awaken from the hallucination and from the false view, and that way it is so beneficial to actualize the wisdom of emptiness, you see. Then another way is the taking onto the path, the method aspect of the path, which is uh, uh, using all the obstacle as a reason to develop compassion, love, etc., like that. So this is the third point, to bring obstacle onto the path. Then the fourth one is to cap your least useful desire. So this is very much meaning, praying, as like an example, pray, help me so that in future too, I can gather upon this self-grasping, everything that has no usefulness, and vanquish them by subjugating them. Contemplating this way is kept your least useful desire. So in another word, is the third one is that whenever such obstacle comes in your way, then make a motivation and the dedication that I will try my best to uh, you know uh, take meaning from this obstacle by actualizing onto the path. Uh, then may all the other obstacles in the future, unwanted experiences in the future, including of aging, sickness, even the death, and all the other consequences of karma and delusion, whatever they may be, may I able to, take them onto the path to develop wisdom and bodhicitta. So this is the fourth point. So there are 4 points. So like that. So here, the text itself um, emphasize very clearly, and what I have just mentioned, to make easier to relate to, our own way of life and our own capability of understanding. So now I will read. First, accepting all omens as a charm is as follows. When worldly people encounter bad omens, such as hearing owl crying or foxes howling at night, they consult astrology, make divinations, and have ritual performed. So this is the usual way. This is how we normally, been doing, and most of the, Buddhist in our Buddhist community, whenever um, uh, unfavorable signs or obstacle comes in our way, then you know we will we will do like that. Uh, you, on the other hand, mm, now you can refer to the Lojong practitioners. So if you are Lojong practitioner, it's referring to you. Should do different way. You, on the other hand, should eagerly embrace ill omen and negative sign when they appear by cultivating the thought like this, thinking like this. Since it is self-grasping that caused me to suffer, may all the suffering that exists in the world arising from the fear of encountering ill omens befall upon this self-grasping attitude. Uh, these misconceptions uh, on the identifications of the self, ripen upon that. And may this help vanquish the self-grasping. May this help vanquish my self-grasping, which is the root cause of all these bad omens, and also vanquish the self-grasping, which is the root cause of rest of the numberless sentient being. May I be conditioned for that. So you see. So if you want to do a short meditation, with visualization, then very much express exactly the word that it says here. Uh, then the there's how to say, there's a sense of dark, like smoky kind of atmosphere, somewhere around, the chest level, where the indestructible drop, where our life force and consciousness, life force and the clear light, where it resides, somewhere there. And that dark, cloudy kind of thingy can regard as the 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 energy of self-grasping and self-cherishing attitude. Then the if you happen to hear or saw, some kind of bad, negative sign, then start from that. Then the rest of the obstacles and the negative sign, the sufferings in the world, everything, form into a kind of dark, smoke shoot like that. Then you actualize them, all of them. You actualize them and dissolve into that particular dark form that you have just visualized, which representing the self-grasping, self-cherishing attitude. The moment you ripen there, then one should think like what the text says. May all the suffering that exists in the world arising from the fear of encountering ill omen befall upon this self. May this help vanquish the self-grasping. The moment you visualize, the moment you think that may this help vanquish the self-grasping, then instantly, that dark energy is completely vanish. Completely vanish. Then right after that, you try to visualize like entire your aura, start from around the chest level, the completely like bright kind of atmosphere, golden, bright, shining kind of atmosphere, light, very bright light atmosphere. Then it have a it has the impact of soothing, calming, and impacting both mind and physical body to experience fluency, kind of bliss, and then there you try to meditate on emptiness, meditate on the self, and the basis of the self, the aggregates, then the bad omens, all the suffering of others, everything, everything dissolve into empty. Then entire atmosphere, starting from yourself, completely filled with the experience of liberation, complete bliss, completely brightness, tranquil. So you can, and according with your ability of understanding emptiness, try to meditate as much as you can. So you can do like that. Now the second point, exterminating Mara at its very source is as follows. It is taught that self-grasping causes us to suffer. So when you experience pain or injury to your bodies, caused either by human or non-humans, you should think like this. It is this body that caused me to undergo suffering. If you desire it, take it away this very instant. O King of demons, residing above, take away my head. Great indeed is your kindness in causing all the harms to it, since you are my ally in uh, subduing the true enemy, and my ally in subduing the Mara. Help me exterminate the very continuum of the worldly God, humans and ghosts, and help me vanquish this demon to the best of my ability. Mm. Cut self-grasping from its root with the thought it is not inconsistent to relish doing so. Mm. Mm. So now here the point is when our body experiences any sufferings, any form of sufferings, then uh, mm, mm, firstly one should understand that why I suffer because of having this body, having this body, having this samsaric body. To understand the pervasive compounded suffering entity in this physical body. First to reflect on that. In another word, first to reflect on the samsara. And then secondly, uh, one should understand that, of course, I will suffer. My body will suffer because my body is the samsaric body, because it is the product. It is contaminated because it is contaminated. Therefore, it is subject to be suffer. To accept what's going through your body. Not to be shocked, not to against conflict in your emotion. Rather you understand, you accept and understand. You accept through understanding, because this body is samsaric body, contaminated by what? Karma and delusion. Because of that I suffer, my body suffer. You see. So therefore uh, therefore then one should understand that if I wish to be free from this suffering, then I should overcome the root cause, the karma and delusion. Uh, so that's one of the way, you see, to understand that, then engage into purification practices, engage in the meditation on antidotes like emptiness, etc., to overcome the root cause of self-grasping and self-cherishing attitude, like that. Now, secondly, uh, in order, instead of fighting back to the harm givers, rather you use the altruistic mind. Then, if there's if for the purpose of training your heart, now you express, if the harm giver, human or non-human or whatever, if you desire my body, then take away this body, this suffering body, right away, this very instant, thing like that. You see. So here, some people may feel scared or feel strange. That may shorten my life. If you now, since the obstacle harm givers are already causing harm, especially like a spirit is harming you, then some more you kind of ready to give away this body, that may cost your life. So we don't have to worry about like that. You see, the power of the altruism in fact help to release the bondage of the spirit and the harm givers towards your body. You see, it helps to in fact unchain uh, the bondage. You see. Instead of taking away your life, rather it will help to prolong your life, you see. So therefore, should have the courage with the altruistic mind that, uh, you know, if you desire this body, then take it away this very instant. Then if it, or king of demon residing above, you know, uh, take away my head, you know. So very much to really to challenge not the spirit, challenge not the harm giver, rather challenge the root cause, the self-grasping attitude, you see. So you, through your motivation, you know, you give away your heads, you know. uh, and some more say indeed because of your mm, uh, uh, some more you express your gratitude, that uh, you know, you cause so much harm, you know, so much pain to my body, you know. Mm, because of causing so much pain, that really help to uh, you know, dismantle the permanent grasping, you know, towards my body, you see. Because of my body is decaying, which is actual reality, but my mind is completely hallucinated by the ignorant. Therefore, you know, the false mind of grasping as a permanent, my body as a permanent, permanent as a youthful, permanent as a healthy, you know, permanent as a never dying. And now because of you cause pain and harm to my body, now that make me to actualize, help to eradicate the true enemy, which is the self-grasping attitude. You know, true enemy, to subdue the true enemy, the self-grasping attitude. You know, so therefore, you Mara or you harm giver is my ally, my friend. You know, rather than you as a harm giver to me. You know, you've been helpful to me to eradicate the root cause of my problem, my suffering. You see. Mm? Uh, So on top of that, now I want to take opportunity. Not only I'm thankful to you to make me awaken from uh, the false view on, you know, towards my identity and towards the basis of my identity, especially the physical body. Uh, now on the base, with the help of with the help of this wisdom and the the attitude, uh, I want to, you know, overcome not only the suffering and the root cause of the suffering within myself, but I want to overcome to all the other suffering realms, you know, including of gods, humans, I mean hungry ghosts, etc. You know, so uh, mm, whatever. Uh, all the sufferings of the harm givers from all the different realms, as well as all the suffering and the root causes of the suffering of all the six realms, that I want to, you know, vanquish uh, mm, right away in my best ability. You know, instead of uh, attaching to my body, instead of denying, you know, where the obstacle is coming from. Rather, I take the opportunity to overcome entirety of the suffering of all beings once for all in my best ability. You know, so uh, so therefore, cut the self-grasping from its root with the thought by thinking it is not inconsistent to relish doing so. You know, you see. So so that way one should, you know, bring the 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 whole effort to eradicate the root cause of the suffering and the pain, uh, uh, using the reason of your own suffering uh, to overcome, to vanquish the suffering and the root cause of the suffering of all beings. You know, so something like that. Mm. So here again, if you wish to do meditation, then of course, you know, the the wordings you can use from the text, but then here very specific practice of uh, dismantling the concrete, the self-grasping attitude, the self-grasping of permanence, self-grasping of apprehending permanent body, inherent, um, I, permanent I, to 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 eradicate that grasping by making charities, willingly of your body parts, to body parts and whatever that harm givers desire for, by making charity to it, then that brings the concentrated practice to eradicate the root cause. This is self-grasping attitude and self-cherishing attitude. So you can visualize, doing it like that. So if we are going through any form of physical inconvenience, sicknesses like that, then instead of feeling down, rather take the opportunity to use the technique to overcome the suffering by eradicating its root cause, the self-grasping, self-cherishing attitude. Now the third is bringing obstacle onto the path is as follows. Whatever unhelpful events such as physical element, mental anxieties, and so on occur, or when adversity afflicts you, contemplate like this. This is due to my own self-grasping. You see, so whenever any form of suffering comes away, you should understand that this is due to the wrong view of self-grasping attitude. You see, self-cherishing and self-grasping attitude. Even though here just said self-grasping attitude, from there, in relation to our emotion, our body, and all the action through our body, spirit, and mind, very much committed to self-cherishing attitude. You see, so it's understood. So so whenever obstacle comes in our way, as a Lojong practitioner, immediately should think that all these are due to my own self-grasping and self-cherishing attitude. Because in many times, we are confused, why this obstacle comes in my way. I want it that way, but why this way comes in my way? I don't like it. You see, you aspire for only healthy body, but then suddenly strike with some sicknesses. Then we confuse why. Why? Sometimes we say, I perform so many pujas. I've been practicing meditations and receiving so many blessings, but then why? You see, so the reason is because of you have not eliminated the self-grasping, self-cherishing attitude. So the answer is that. So we have to have that answer. So why I want success in business, but then business falls. Why? You may think that I've been doing so many charities, I may doing so many pujas, etc. And you may think that you have so many right friends to do the business. You think you're super smart, etc. But then sometime the business falls, don't go the way you want. Then we have a big caution in our heart with so much confusion, and we start to blame here, blame there. We suffer so much, isn't it? So when we have the right answer, then we know where the problem coming from, and that way we have a less suffering, and we will have so that then we will we will apply the right antidote soon as is possible. That way you can overcome the obstacle, isn't it? So immediately, whenever obstacle comes in our way, then immediately think, so this is why. This is due to self-grasping and self-cherishing attitude. Remember that. Okay. Okay, I continue read. If today I do not discard this self-grasping, obstacle will continue to arise. So you should think like that. So may all the adversities in the world and those fear to come be realized upon me. So now, how to overcome this self-grasping, self-cherishing attitude? How to overcome? Now you see. So yes, I know this is a problem of self-grasping, self-cherishing attitude. Whatever obstacle comes in my way, I want to overcome it. But how to practice? What is the practice? The practice is nothing external. It's about your cultivation. So how to cultivate? Simply think like this from depth of your heart. You mean it like this. Uh, mm, if I do not discard this self-grasping, obstacle will continue to arise. So now think like this. So may all the adversities in the world and those fear to come to be realized, those so may all the adversities in the world and those fear to come to be realized upon me. All the problems, especially problem exactly like the problem that what you are facing, faced by others, all ripen upon this self-grasping and self-cherishing attitude. It's not talking about ripen upon me, not talking about you know the person, the real person. It's talking about ripen upon the false person, false I, false me, which is very problematic. So ripen upon that. So you don't have to fear that, oh, I'm already in trouble, and some more I ask all the others problems, and it is causes ripen upon me, then I'm going to get even worse. You may think like that. No, you don't think like that. You see, it doesn't work like that. You see, so you are not asking to ripen upon you. It's ripen upon the false I, ripen upon the false perception, false grasping, false, the misconception, which is the creation of all the karma that make you into trouble. You see, so ripen upon that. So I already give an example of visualization of the dark smoke as mentioned before. You can do the visualization like that here also. So or may this help subdue the self and utterly destroy it. Then you should continue to think like this. May this help subdue the false I, a false self, self-cherishing, and the emotion that expressed by false view, which is called self-cherishing. You see, utterly destroy it, completely destroy it. Mm. So contemplating thus bring them onto the path. So if thinking like that, meditating like that, expressing like that is bringing onto the path, bringing obstacle onto the path. When you're able to bring obstacle onto the path, then that's the most effective help, to overcome the obstacle. Okay, so now the fourth, capping one's desire that are least useful is as follows. What benefit? So it's like this. so um, so capping one's desire at the least useful is as follow. So think like this. What benefit has this brought me? If any, it has never made me go further away from self-existence. So it must be destroyed today. What benefit has this brought me? Self-grasping and self-cherishing brought me. If any, if any benefit they brought you, it has it has never made me go further away from self-existing. Self-grasping, self-cherishing attitude is the one that keep you in this problematic existence. So it must be destroyed today. So think like that. Then at least I will have drive some purpose from its utter lack of usefulness. So that way you can able to utilize meaning of this precious human life. If I achieve this, it will be due to my teacher's blessing. It will be owing to his kindness. So you just express there, remembrance of your guru, remembrance of the teaching that you receive. Because of the teaching, because of the why you're able to utilize your life in a more meaningful way, more virtue, less tormented by the self-grasping, self-cherishing attitude. It's because of the kindness of your guru. and the teaching that he provided. So then here you meditate on the kindness, remembering the kindness of your guru, like that. Then after that, then you make the dedication. Pray, help me so that in the future too I can gather upon this self-grasping. Everything that has no usefulness had vanquished them by subjugating them. Contemplating this way kept your least useful desire. So then, as I mentioned before, at the end should dedicate that not only that I am able to practice taking all the adversities on the path to benefit sentient beings and enlightenment, but also in every suffering, every problem, every obstacle in the future too, may I able to take onto the path. You can dedicate like that. Okay, so this is it for today. So thank you very much. Then the next Sunday we go through the 24th chapter, Mayana mind training, eliminating future adversities. Okay, so thank you very much. So we can do short dedication here. So dedicate in bodhicitta and emptiness. Then as we motivated at the beginning, where we understood there's so much suffering in the world. So here, whatever merit that we collected from this session, we dedicate to actualize absolute liberation of enlightenment to all these suffering sentient beings, and also dedicate for the good health and long life and fulfillment of all the aspirations of our precious gurus, like Swami Lama, and all your gurus accordingly, and also dedicate to you and your families good health, long life, and fulfillment of all your mundane and spiritual aspirations accordingly. Chanjo semjo rinpoche maje panam jeju je jewa nyamba meba yang kone gondo pewara sho donye dawa rinpoche maje panam jeju je jewa nyamba meba kone gondo pewara sho rimye dawa rinpoche maje panam jeju je jewa nyamba meba kone gondo pewara sho pama semje damje deda de yu jingero damje dado donwa da chanjo semba gana so jeba deda konye monam do yu semje neba jini yodo nele taji Dove nene malu bata do juwa me bara isho jembe bawe jita jemba da kundo sabo de ade shini deda kunji chuso taro jawa deda damje rab do ngo de son shebe jawa damje de ngo gana chudo nga bada daji jewe zawa de kunji zambo jeje rab do ngo bara je gare rabe gowe shinga de penda dewa mali juwe chere se wa tenzi jana shabe se de ba do den ju tupso chaje jango jawe de den jobe be koso do go choso go be le me to do taso de je gundo jab de sho 주제 라면 고제 람데 지나가 되는 조조 제마달로산 대베르면서 조제 도에면서 도제 제와고도 양다라마 다음에 저제 별라론 저제 자달람 제인데 라전에 도제 장jen고 마뇨도 조 베난조 미게 베제노 바담 제sem제로 고제 베담바 제jen데 다시 Okay, thank you very much. Please take good care and see you next week. Thank you. Bye-bye.